So actually, we as a consumer, we don't
Are you
really know
aware
about
of the
it.
average bill per unit?
All of you are kings and queens in your own home with your own throne that you can sit up and decide and let the business continue to woo you.
Before the turn of the mid-20th century, consumers had limited rights with regards to products and services. But on the 15th day of March 1962, the then President of the United States of America, John F. Kennedy, made a speech to the American Congress where he presented before them 4 basic rights of the consumer, which are the right to safety, the right to be informed, the right to choose, and the right to be heard. This began the World Consumer Right Day as we now know it today. In 1983, the international consumer movement adopted March 15 as the World Consumer Right Day. Since then, the World Consumer Right Day is celebrated annually with a defined theme. The theme selected and adopted worldwide for 2017 celebration is Building a Digital World Consumers Can Trust. Indeed, the benefit of internet, mobile phone technology, and other devices have been deemed revolutionary, especially with the introduction of e-banking, e-commerce, e-governance, and much faster communication. However, consumers have today become more vulnerable and susceptible to digital and online threats such as cybercrime, data theft, invasion of privacy, and a lack of structured online redress mechanisms. These have been accompanied with inherent challenges that are capable of threatening the very lives and security of the average consumer. Hence, the need to sensitize consumers. Welcome to another episode of Consumer Voice, the in-house program of the Consumer Protection Council (CPC) that tells you all about your rights as a consumer and how to enforce them whenever you feel they have been breached. Today's special episode of Consumer Voice promises to be captivating. We'll bring you an event held by the Consumer Protection Council (CPC) to mark the 2017 World Consumer Right Day. That was the investiture of the wife of the president, Hajia Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, as Nigeria's consumer ambassador. Other events held by the CPC to mark the day will be brought to you next week. First, we'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll go straight to the event as they unfolded at the investiture of the wife of the president, Her Excellency Hajia Aisha Buhari, as Nigeria's consumer ambassador.
Guy, hurry. You dey waste time now. Hurry now. Oh, this NEPA people safe. Hey, every time.
What are you doing? Are you aware that this is a criminal act, liable to punishment?
But everybody does it now. Besides, this power distribution company are charging us too much, I beg.
Hey, you're under arrest. Your hands behind your back. Don't you know it's illegal to tamper or bypass your electrical meter?
Oga, beg now, waiting.
Oh, yeah. Let's be going.
Oga, why now?
Keep quiet, let's go.
Oga, now.
As an electricity consumer, you have certain responsibilities. You must ensure that metering and other electricity distribution equipment or devices are not tampered with. Vandalizing gas pipelines, electricity power cables, transformers, and other electricity equipment will only harm the power supply chain, which affects other electricity consumers. You must also ensure that you pay your bills as at when due, and avoid illegal connections. Electricity supply may not be what we expect for now, but we must not also contribute to the problem. Let us join hands and improve power supply in Nigeria. This message was brought to you by the Consumer Protection Council, CPC, in partnership with MacArthur Foundation.
Welcome back. As earlier hinted, the CPC Consumer Voice crew covered the investiture of the wife of the president, Hajia Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, as Nigerian Consumer Ambassador. They captured this welcome address by the Director General, Consumer Protection Council, Mrs. Dupe Atoki.
I'm very delighted this morning and very much honored to welcome Her Excellency, the wife of the President, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, this morning to the event that has been dedicated to her in commemoration of the World Consumer Rights Day 2017. And I'm humbled by the consent of Her Excellency to join forces with the Council towards the empowerment of Nigerian consumers. The investiture of Her Excellency as the Nigerian Consumer Ambassador could not have come at a better day than the occasion of the World Consumer Rights Day, a day set aside for the celebration of consumers' rights all over the world and to protest the market abuses which undermine these rights. The theme for the year 2017 is building a digital world consumers can trust. The theme is highly topical and relevant to the Nigerian situation. As a result, we have on the sideline of this ceremony an exhibition which Her Excellency will flag off in the course of this event. The exhibition aims to foster interaction between consumers, producers of service in the digital technology world. Also, a workshop featuring the major players in the digital technology will be held in this same venue to discuss the impact of digital technology as well as provide the necessary guide to consumers on how to operate safely in the digital world. And that brings me to the highlight of today. This mandate of the council, which you will see is very wide, because we have the grassroots to also sensitize. We don't want to sit here in Abuja, and so we need a platform of someone who can support the grassroots sensitization. And this informed the decision taken on behalf of you Nigerian consumers to invest the wife of the President, Her Excellency Aisha Buhari, as the Nigerian ambassador. We are therefore convinced that if Her Excellency Aisha Buhari will, as the Nigerian ambassador, bring her passion to bear on the education of consumers, a large population of our citizens, particularly women, will be sensitized of their consumer rights and responsibility in a very short time. I heartily welcome Her Excellency to our fold and enjoy every well-meaning Nigerians to emulate her commitment to a better future for fellow citizens. Consumer rights are economic rights, so we must all contribute our quota to having a virile economy by promoting the rights of consumers. I wish you all a happy World Consumer Rights Day. Thank you.
Also speaking at the event, the chairman, House Committee on Commerce, Honorable Sylvester Ubaga, commended the choice of Her Excellency Hajia Aisha Buhari as Nigerian Consumer Ambassador and pledged the support of the House of Representatives to the CPC.
Today's event is remarkable for several reasons. First and foremost is the fact that this event is being used to honor the wife of our president, Her Excellency Hajia Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, as Nigerian Consumer Ambassador. It is my optimism that the investiture of Her Excellency as Nigerian Consumer Ambassador At today's event, we foster the desired unity among consumers in the country. In her capacity as a wife of the President, Her Excellency stands a good chance to mobilize, unite consumers, particularly Nigerian women, to speak with one voice anytime their rights are trampled upon. Given our pedigree, I know that Nigerian Consumer Ambassador will do no less for the nation's consumers. I therefore commend the choice of Her Excellency as Nigerian Consumer Ambassador and wish her success in all her activities in that regard. Another reason why I consider this event special is the fact that this year's World Consumer Rights Day is focusing on the important subject of digital technology. Every citizen is a consumer, and as a representative of the people, we at the National Assembly, which I represent, see the interests of the consumer as paramount. To this effect, the House of Representatives recently passed a bill to, among others, repeal the Consumer Protection Council Act and establish Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission and Consumer Protection Tribunal. The bill, when concurred by the Senate and assented by Mr. President, will help businesses to develop and at the same time promote fair, efficient, and competitive market in the Nigerian economy. It will also facilitate access by all citizens to safe products and secure the protection of the rights of all consumers in Nigeria. The passage of this bill represents the support of the House of Representatives for the efforts of the Consumer Protection Council to effectively protect Nigerian consumers.
Other special guests spoke at the event.
I'm delighted to be here on this occasion of the investiture of the wife of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Her Excellency Hajia Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, as Nigerian Consumer Ambassador. I commend the Consumer Protection Council, a parastatal under the ministry, for this laudable initiative. Consumer protection is concerned with ensuring the well-being of the citizens, and at family level, mothers remain the chief welfare officers. Mothers are imbued by nature to care for the needs of the family. As a mother of the nation, the wife of the President, Her Excellency Hajia Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, continued to show greater compassion for fellow citizens, most especially the underprivileged. It is therefore a befitting honor that she is being invested today as the Nigerian Consumer Ambassador. I congratulate Her Excellency for this well-deserved honor, which incidentally places on her shoulders the additional burden of ensuring better deals for consumers